They weren't thrill seekers chasing a roller coaster. They were wealthy, accomplished people who believed they were boarding the future of exploration, and instead stepped into a machine that never had a second chance built into it. When the submersible Titan slipped beneath the waves on its final dive, it wasn't just heading toward the Titanic. It was heading toward a test of engineering, of judgment, and of how far confidence can stretch before reality snaps it in half. From the outside, the mission sounded almost poetic. Visit the most famous shipwreck in history. Travel to a place only a tiny number of humans have ever seen with their own eyes. Be part of a new era where private citizens, not just governments, could explore the deep ocean. It felt bold, visionary, but bold and safe are not the same thing. The ocean floor where Titanic rests is nearly 2.5 miles down. At that depth, the sea is less like water and more like a crushing force of nature pressing in from every direction. Submersibles built for that world are usually shaped like thick metal bubbles, heavy, stubborn, and designed with one job: don't collapse. Titan took a different path. It leaned into newer materials and unconventional design choices. Supporters saw innovation. Critics saw unnecessary risk. And here's where the story becomes less about metal and carbon fiber, and more about human nature. Because long before the final dive, there were people waving caution flags. Engineers who didn't like what they were seeing. Specialists who questioned whether enough testing had been done. Voices suggesting the ocean is the last place you want to figure it out as you go. But innovation has a powerful aura. It attracts believers. It makes doubt feel like negativity and caution feel like fear of progress. At some point, concern started sounding like background noise. Passengers reportedly paid around $250,000 for a seat. For them, this wasn't just tourism. It was legacy. A story their friends would never be able to top. A brush with history at the bottom of the Atlantic. And maybe that's part of the tragedy. Not arrogance, but trust. Trust in the experts. Trust in the technology. Trust that if a company is offering something this extreme, it must be ready. On the day of the dive, everything seemed routine. Messages went back and forth with the support ship above. Systems appeared fine. Then, just under 2 hours into the descent, the sub stopped responding. Up on the surface, confusion turned into urgency. Oxygen estimates filled news reports. Rescue plans were mapped out. The world latched onto hope, because hope is easier to hold than the alternative. But deep underwater, events don't unfold at human speed. Evidence later suggested a sudden, catastrophic implosion likely happened around the moment communication was lost. If that's true, the end came faster than the brain can register. No drawn-out emergency. No final words. Just a violent encounter with physics that left no room for survival. It's a terrifying thought, and also a strangely revealing one. Because the real story of Titan isn't just about how it failed. It's about how close we're willing to stand to the edge when ambition, money, and belief in progress all line up in the same direction. The company behind the sub had promoted real-time monitoring systems, cutting-edge design, a new chapter in ocean access. To some, it looked like the spirit of exploration. To others, it looked like safety culture being bent to fit a vision. And that tension, between pushing limits and respecting them, is where this tragedy lives. History is full of moments like this. New frontiers, big promises, confident leaders, and quiet experts in the background saying, "Slow down." Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they're the only ones who saw it coming. The loss of Titan forced an uncomfortable conversation. Private deep-sea exploration was moving faster than the rules meant to keep people alive. Technology had sprinted ahead. Oversight was still tying its shoes. The ocean, of course, doesn't care about any of that. It doesn't care how advanced your materials are, how inspiring your mission sounds, or how much each seat costs. Down there are no marketing decks, no second drafts, no emergency exits. There is only pressure and whether your machine can truly withstand it. So maybe the hardest question isn't, would you take that dive? Maybe it's this: when someone offers you a once-in-a-lifetime experience at the very edge of human capability, how do you know whether you're witnessing the future or standing in the path of a preventable disaster? Because sometimes the line between pioneer and cautionary tale is only visible after it's too late.